Hi, my name is Shara, and I'm going to be doing my speech on community building. About 5 years ago, as we were all going through COVID, we had a lot of different experiences with maintaining our communities in the midst of not being able to spend any time with each other. One of my favorite memories is when our small little cul-de-sac decided to start doing lawn hangouts. And this was an opportunity for everyone to pull out blankets and lawn chairs, sit on our front yards, and kind of yell at each other from across the cul-de-sac. It was a wonderful opportunity to laugh, to vent, and to have that social emotional connection with others. And for me, it was a memory that really just proved how essential community can really be for getting us through very challenging times. There have been studies that they've done since that have shown that things like telehealth or video connections for patients is essential to helping with depression and anxiety as they're continuing that healing process after they've gone through COVID in the hospital, gone through the process of being discharged, gone home, and then are also needing that continual care. So I'm a doula, and a doula is a non-medical professional, and as a doula, we learn a lot about practical support. And we have a lot of wonderful books. One book in particular talks a lot about how after parents come home, after they're done with all of the process of giving birth, they then have to go through the process of becoming a parent. And what does that look like? And nobody really knows. Well, they've also shown that in studies, if you have a social support group, like a parenting support group, a mom's group, a dad's group, maybe you've adopted and you want to have a support group with other adopted families, well, that is a wonderful opportunity for you to feel heard, to vent, to be supported. So we all know somebody who needs support. And that could be somebody who's maybe struggling with an illness, somebody who has had surgery or has had an injury recently. And we also know some people that are new to the area, and they maybe have, they don't really know like where the grocery store is, where the doctor's office is, maybe even where the local elementary schools are. And those are wonderful opportunities to build community. So what do we do? How do we actually build community? That's something that we all kind of struggle with. What are the real practical steps? Well, one of the things that we can do is we can offer to help. When somebody is new to a community or maybe struggling with an illness, it's a lot of mental exhaustion to have to say, hey, I need help. Can you help me in this specific way? Last warning. Thank you. One of the things that we can do is food. We can offer to bring a meal over to them. And we can say, hey, how many people do you have? Do you have any allergies? And is there something that I can do to help support you practically? And like I said, one of the ways that we can do that is through food. We can also maybe offer to bring over a load of groceries, things along those lines. There's also a lot of wonderful online resources. You can make a Google Calendar. You can maybe have a meal train, and you can do all of these things online to help support somebody. And maybe you can't leave the house yourself, you work, maybe you have a lot of other responsibilities, but you can have those 10-15 minutes online to help support that other person. In-person help is a wonderful thing to do too. Maybe you don't have the money or the additional resources to volunteer to somebody, but you can go over to their house and walk their dog, clean their kitty litter box, offer to help babysit their kids. You can maybe do the dishes or start a load of laundry, water their plants. These are a lot of things that you can do in person that is a huge support. And then of course there's that social emotional element of things. Sometimes we just want to be a couch buddy. Maybe you put on your PJs and you go over and you sit on the couch with a friend and you watch a show. Maybe you bring over something warm to drink and some snacks and you just sit there and listen and talk. These are all wonderful things that you can do to help support somebody and to build that community. What about if you need community? What if you're the one that has gone through a surgery or gotten sick or has family out of town and maybe you've had a baby and you need that additional support? Well, we have to ask. We have to ask for help. So we can do that on social media. That's a really great way to just do a general kind of call out. We can also send direct texts to our friends and family and ask for specific help. We can send an email, like I said, with that Google Calendar or maybe with that meal train to help make sure that we're getting those nutritious meals as we need. And then, of course, we have our community support. So there are a ton of community supports that we can depend on, whether it's through churches, community colleges, libraries, public schools, the list goes on and on and on. So having a list of resources that you can depend on is a huge help and something that we all need. So building community is something that we do all the time. It's a skill that you will always use, and it's something that you can do in between maybe the needs. So even if there isn't a person who specifically needs it, or maybe you don't specifically need it, you can be doing it in those spaces between so you have that community built up for when you do need it. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful, and we're just gonna do a quick hello to the audience. Everyone say hi.
Hello. Hi.
Everyone say hi.
Hi.
And thank you so much. I really appreciate it.